I opened our existing transaction. So here we can see the part, its unit price, quantity, and extended price calculation. Yeah. So now we'll try to apply discounts, and then basing on that scenario, we'll get into the approvals area. So what we can frame is like, so we'll allow users to enter the discounts of their choice. So basing and at the backend, we will be storing the maximum discounts are the thresholds of the discount. So that is how much he can give maximum. So that will maintain in the data table. So let's open the data tables in parallel. Yeah, this is the data table we used earlier. So we'll add one more column here. No, this is the row, right? Yeah. So let's create the maximum discounts column. Yeah. So now we have a max discount column here. So what we are going to do now is, so basing on this max discount, we can validate the discounts whatever the user enter, or we can allow user to come across the approvals. So if it is like the discount is still eligible and needs some approval, so then we'll ask him to then we'll trigger the code for approvals. If the discount is strictly not allowed, it's not allowable discount, so then we'll validate the code. We can do two things here basing on that. So what we'll do is, so this is the maximum discount, right? User enters some discount, like some $50 or something like that. So that is eligible. So if he enters $70, it is not eligible. So basing on that condition, what we'll do is we'll add one more column. So we need to like, is it allowable or not, basing on approval as well or not. Let's add one more column. Go to schema. Whatever the column we just added is maximum discount, which says what is the maximum limit of the discount. So now we are adding one more column. What it will say is, so where we use this column is, if user enters more than $50, so we'll say like he entered $60, so then it is not it is beyond maximum discount, right? Then this column will decide whether we need to like say that is not eligible discount, or it is eligible but needs some approval. So like that we can decide. So I'll say yes. For this I'll say no. So when how we will use this is, if user enters more than maximum discount, then it's for that instant it is not eligible discount. If any of the cases is more than the user entered like any of the user entered discount is more than these two values. So in that scenario, when it is more than the maximum discount, then we are having some more data. If it is more than the allowed discount, we need to restrict him blindly, or we can send it to the approval. So then it can be decided whether to approve or not. So that's for that scenario we'll use this values. And deploying the table. So here we have rules, right? Similar to configuration. So here also we have rules. Constraint rule, you know the functionality. Hiding rules as well. Validation rules is nothing but, so it will say when we are performing an action. So if there are any like not allowable values are present in some any of the fields, so we can say like this is the not valid value. So we can't allow you to perform some action. So that means basing on some values, if they are not allowable on the code, so at that moment we will restrict user to uh, performing some actions. So that will restrict it. For that we can do the use of this validation. So this validation rule, when you see, this is tied to a action always. But for constraint and hiding rules, it's not that case. But validation rules are dependent, that means they are always tied to actions. So if there is some illegal value, so we will make sure that user is not able to perform that action. We will restrict him to perform that action. So that's the use of this validation rule. So now what we'll do is, basing on the data table data, so if user enters more than the allowed discount, so then we'll check whether approval is required or not. So if its approval is not required, in that case, if user enters more than the eligible discount, then we'll say this is not allowable discount, please try lesser discount or something like that. So for that we can use this validation rule. But when we do that, so we do that on the submit action. So basing on that, we need to decide, right? If there is more than eligible discount, then we need to check the data table data, is approval required or not. So if it's required, we need to trigger approvals. If it's not required, we need to tell it's more than eligible discount, we can't approve that discount, something like some message. So we need to trigger, we need to like implement all this functionality on the submit action. So let's see. Submit action is nothing but just one more type of action where it can facilitate approvals. Let's go to our actions area, main document, actions, create a new action of submit type. I'm adding it. I'm just updating it. So if you observe the list, once you create the submit action, you can see a set of actions automatically got created. So submit has 4 set of actions, which is a request for approval, reject, approve, and revise. The use of request for approval is when you are clicking submit action, if there are any like reasons. Reason is nothing but just now we saw some use case, right? If there is any discount entered by the user is more than allowable, so then we have some condition in the data table whether to trigger approval or not. That is the condition we need to consider, and will be used in the approvals area, whether when we click submit action it should go for approvals or not. If there are any valid reasons, nothing but now we have a condition, right? If user enters more than allowable discount and approval is required for it, so that condition we will consider. So if that condition is there, so that will be our reason. If that reason exists, then when we click submit, the quote won't get approved by default. It will automatically trigger this action, request for approval. Then whatever the reasons we have on the current quote at that instance, those all approvals will be triggered. What it will happen, it will if there are any approvals, so obviously at the end there will be some approvers, right? Whom if there is some like condition, so this is not eligible discount, this is more than the eligible discount, so someone needs to approve, so that approver needs to approve it if it's allowed or not. So like that, so everything, whatever the reason are there on the code, so if at least one reason is there on the code, then this action will get performed when we click submit action. If there are no reasons on the code, like everything is fine, no one needs to approve, no reasons are there on the code, so then this won't get performed. When we click submit, the code automatically should go to approved step. That's how we design the steps, that we need to make the workflow to build like that. So if there are any reasons existing on the code, So then we won't put like we won't make code to come to the approved step when submit action is performed blindly. So that's what we need to check, whether any reason is existing or not on the code. If any reason are existing, automatically this action will get triggered. We don't need to do anything. But steps we need to consider. If there are, if it is this action got performed, so we need to like make sure, like in general scenario, we make it as pending for approval step, something like that. We add one more step and we'll change the transaction status to that step. If there are no reasons, active reasons, so then on this action we will write a step transition. It will go to the approved step, like that. So similarly, like we have other three actions. So what's the use of them is, so the next one is reject. So when this request for approval got performed, whatever the reasons are there on the code, it will notify the respective approvers. So when they open the respective approvals, for example, Karthik is the approver. So when you click this request for approval, when request for approval is triggered, so Karthik opens the code and he will see some notification in the on the code. So this is the reason. Will you approve or not? So then there will be two actions we can see. Two actions automatically will come up. We don't need to add on the layout. So they will come up automatically. So one is reject, one is approve. We can click on those icons whether to reject or approve. We won't add these actions on the layout manually. They will come automatically. And request for approval also, this action we can't add on the layout. It will be there in the backend. It will trigger automatically. And revise is one more. So what is the use of revise is, so you configure something and you apply some discounts and you do modifications on the transaction. So at some stage you will ask that code to, like you will make that code to submit for approvals. So as you feel you are done, but after some time, like if you realize like you need to do some modifications, you need to change some discounts or you need to add some more parts, in such scenario you need to perform this revise action. So on this action what you will do is, whatever the reasons or everything is there, so everything will be cleared off and you will make sure the step transition will go to the draft step or like the initial stages of the transaction. So that means we are saying when this action got performed, so you are starting everything like almost from the beginning. So that is the situation when you perform revise action. But this action, unlike these things, these three actions, you need to add it on the layout because you need to change something. So in that scenario you need to perform this action, right? So you need to add this action on the layout. So these are the four set of submit actions. And when you come across submit action, there will be a submit set of attributes as well we need to add on the code. So after this submit action we will be having some submit set related attributes, so we need to add them on the code on the layout. So to see uh, is there any approvals pending on the code, is there any approvals reasons are there on the code, who who is approved, like all the approvals got performed or not. So everything we can see on the code. Now And one more thing you observe, so when we are adding the actions, so if it's an attribute, once we add on the layout, so it will get disappeared here. But actions, it won't, because the actions we can add in multiple places. So if you want here, so you are adding it. If you want in some other area of this transaction, so some business scenarios will be having lengthy pages. So in such scenario, you may add it at the bottom, you may add it in the middle, like wherever the section you want, you can add the same action again and again. So you just need to make sure you will be adding one more action strip or toolbar at that area, and you just need to drop your action again. That's it. So now we got our action created, right? So on this action, we'll write some validation rule as well. So we discussed some scenario, right? If approval is required, so then only we'll trigger the approvals. If approval is not required based on the data table data, then we won't trigger approvals. We'll just simply notify the user, the sales user on the UI. So this is not eligible discount. Basing on this, there is a validation. Let me refresh the page. So this is going to be our condition, right? So what we can do is to avoid, we can create, there will be scenarios like if we have like complex logics existing in the validation rules or approvals area. So what we'll do is basing on that, we'll generate simply add flags, whether this approval is required or not, or basing on that. So if there are any complex logic, we'll add that in the on the action or some other line level area, whatever the line loop existing in our logic already. So we'll form flags. So basing on the flag, simply we'll use it in the validation rules as a condition. Whether that flag is true, we'll simply trigger this validation. If not, we won't use it. So right now we are adding the logic at the line level, right? So this is our line level area. So we are validating whether any part is eligible for approval is required or not. If required, so basing on that, we need to trigger approvals, right? So basing on this, let's add the rule. So whenever we write the rule at line level, so it won't require any loop. We need to write in the condition. So whatever the rule is there at line level, it will run for every line. If you have like 100 line, 100 rows or parts on the transaction, so for every part, for every row, it will run the validation rule. We don't need to write the line loop on the subdocument. Loop on the for loop on the subdocument in our logic. So it will run for each and every line or each and every part it exists. So this value is there, right? Is approval required or not? So let's populate this at the line level and even the max discount these values at the line level. If you want populate, what you need to do is in every logic, so you need to query basing on its part number. So when this part is there, you need to query from the data table, and you need to like the complexity will increases when you need to check condition whether this is eligible discount, whether this is required for approval or not. So that like that the complexity increases. So what we'll do is we have already logic defined like this, right? We already added some logic using the line loop. So let's use the same area to pull those values from the data table. So where we wrote this logic at the update pricing, right? So let's open the action. So we have the logic at after formulas. I'm opening that editor. So this is the area where we are doing pricing, right? So basing on this quantity and unit price, we are populating the extended price. Similarly, basing on the discounts, will generate a discounted value, like what is the final price of that product. So this is one area, and to calculate the final price, we need these values also, right? So what is this maximum discount and all? So these are already there in the data table. Similarly, how we are fetching unit price here, similarly we'll fetch these values as well. If we fetch like when we are fetching these values, we are fetching these two values as well, because if we fetch like on the update pricing, so what the scenario is going to be is it fetched the unit price, it did the calculation. So whenever we are doing that calculation, we are fetching these prices. So and these prices will be available for the third stage of calculation. So to avoid that lag, so whenever we are fetching some data, as they are already there statically in the data table, so we can fetch everything at the same time. So now we need to modify two areas. One is to fetch the values from the data table, and after once the discount is finalized, we need to calculate the final price as well, basing on the eligible discount. We wrote the logic at subdocument level, right? Default. I'm opening that editor. Let's see the data table. So this is our data table. We are pulling the unit price information based on the part. Similarly, we need to pull the max discount and is approval required values also. So we need to query these columns as well. So max discount and is approval required. I'm just debugging it. So we are able to see the values. So the new values like is approval required or not, and what is the maximum threshold, maximum discount for this part. So we got the values. So we need to set it to the line level attributes. So let's quickly create line level attributes to store those values. So let's add these values on the layout. Okay, this is at the subdocument level, right? Let's go back. If we add something on the subdocument layout, we can't see on the transaction directly. So we need to select whatever the row, we need to edit it, then only we can see those attributes. So we can simply add them on the layout. I think we already opened the layout, right? Somewhere. Yeah. Let's refresh this. and we are in this area, right? So let's create the attribute, like we will ask user to enter some discount value, right? So let's create that also. And whatever the attribute we just added, so we are expecting user to enter that value on the UI. So we should make this as editable. And let's scroll this up. So we added the attributes. So we need to use those attributes in the logic. Like at the line level default, we are pulling the values and storing at the each part, right? So we need to do that. So let's we are storing its unit price, right? So that's why earlier we added this. So let's what we'll do is let's change the name. So we can do two things. We are pulling some or two other values, right? Earlier it is unit price. So now maximum discount and ease approval required are also there. So we need to pull these values also to make the name apt. So we'll change this as part dictionary. So what we'll do is when we need to send the unit price, so we will send unit price along with the part as a key, and max discount like with part as the key, and is approval required with part as the key, and the key is same but in all the cases and all the three values. So how you will differentiate? So you need to uh, add some customized key. So your part is going to be your part number. You can do either of the things. So what it's the maintain different dictionaries. Okay, so the other thing is single dictionary customized keys containing part number. So these are the two ways. So we are looping on the record and we are getting the values and we are storing it here, right? So similarly what we'll do is we'll get the same thing. If part not equals to empty, so part name, we are getting the part, this one. So part name is common, so we want part name for to store these values as well. Now unit price they are fetching and they are putting it in the dictionary. So the how they are storing the unit price, so we need to pull. So max discount, so we are getting it. And one more thing is here the dictionary is float type of dictionary. So when we are storing this values also, you need to make sure. So this is this dictionary type should be supportive. So let's change this dictionary as string dictionary, because we are storing is approval required kind of values, right? Also a so it should be string dictionary and one string. So then while we are using in the calculation, you need to convert it to float and then you need to use it. So our dictionary is going to be a part info dict. So now we need to store we need to change these values as well. Part unit price. So we need to like store in the dictionary. So here what we are doing is we are converting it to A to F. Earlier it's a float dictionary. So now we won't do that. So now we have modified the information. So let's print it. So I got an error. So I missed something. Okay, here we are using the calculation, right? So it is saying operand type should be one of integer, float, or boolean type, because we are converting it to string, right? So that's why. So yeah, it should be there. So whenever we are getting part info part number, so here what we need to do is, so we need to like customize our key. So I'll say I'm customizing the key. So now when I'm fetching my like unit price related value, so the whatever this key I'm using is going to be like dynamic. So I need to frame whenever I'm getting a part number. So as I'm setting it to the unit price, so I need to use this same thing. So let's add these values as well. So this is a unit price. We are storing it, right? So we need to find the variable names of those attributes also. We just created those attributes, right? So my max discount attribute and is approval required. I forgot to give underscore L here. Ignore it. So these are my attributes. So now I'm sending it to the on the code. So whatever the parts are there, I'm sending all those values. So I need to check these values as well. Now earlier it is unit price, right? So now this is one value. So we like changed the values. So let's see now. And whatever this unit price we are getting it here, it's a from a string dictionary. So if it's from the string dictionary, it's always it will be a string, obviously. So then we don't need to convert it to the string here to send in the to concatenate in this written format. So we can remove this. Let's check the code. It's fine. Let's run it. So we can see the return statement here. I mean, sorry, the result here. Unit price we are getting, maximum discount we are getting, approval required yes or no we are getting, like that for all the two parts: unit price, maximum discount, and approval required as well. So let's save and close it. Update this because we opened the editor from the line default, right? So we need to update this page. If you are open the editor from the admin action page, so you need to go back and update that action page. Then only whatever the script you saved, I mean you modified, it will be saved. So let's quickly deploy it. So now we like pulled whatever the values we want from the data table. So after the pulling those values, so we need to do calculation based on that, because we have some we will ask user to enter some discount values, right? And we have discount values, and we need to calculate final price basing on that once user is entered those values. So once we are done with the calculations, I mean the final price is generated, we will ask the code to upload. So we are done, and so just submitting for approval whether it's everything is fine on the code or not. If there are any restrictions, so it will say this is not eligible thing. If there are any restrictions and still, so it will send it to the approval, or else it will directly submit the code to the upload step. I mean it will take the code to the upload step. So as we have some logic at the line default as well, right? So let's create a new code. So through the quick key, let's add our parts. So let's save it. So it's done. So now we are getting unit price through the line default and max discount and is approval required through the line default. So now we need to use these values. So you quantity user need to enter. So let's say I'll put 2 and I'll put 3 here. So now we need to calculate extended price, right? So we have this logic on update pricing. So let's trigger that update pricing. So we can see the values got updated, the pricing. So what once we pull it the prices quantities from the user and calculated the prices. So now we'll ask user to enter discount. So he will say I need 75% discount. I mean $75 discount on this. And right now what we are doing is we are basing on the we are doing the discounts basing on the amounts. So we can also have a format of having the discounts in the percentages. So right now I'm entering $75, right? So you can make it as discount percent. So to make user to understand what is the discount. So then you can add treat this as a 75%, and basing on that you can do your calculations. That's how we can do also. So in general scenarios there will be two formats. So they so right now we have this type of discount, right? So how few businesses will be is, so they will have one more attribute called here discount type. So he will ask the user whether you are going to apply discount percent or discount amount. So if it's discount amount, so we'll have a notation like dollar. So we'll select that value and we'll apply this 75 here. So whenever it's their dollar here, so we are creating this 75 as amount, direct amount, $75 as amount. So when the symbol is in the before attribute is the symbol is like percentage. So then we'll treat the 75 as 75%. Based on that, we'll do calculations. So that's how few people will follow. Some people instead of having at the line level, some people will have everything at the quote level. So they will decide whether the discounts are like amount based or percentage based. So basing on that quote level attribute, they will do these calculations. So now we'll ask the discount 75, and here the discount as 48. So you can see the maximum discount here is 50, and this maximum discount here we entered is 75. So here it is 25, here it is 48. So few people won't show this maximum discount. So it will be there in the background. It will, just to explaining, I added it here. So it will be there in the background so that we can validate what is the why the approval got triggered and why the validation rule got triggered. So uh, so once we are entered, so these values, so we need to calculate the final price basing on these discounts. So what we need to do, this is the extended price, right? So this extended price, we are applying discount. We need to subtract this and we need to show the final price. That is one more calculation. Let's do it in the apply discounts as an action. So let's create a small action. We are going to create a one more modified type of action to calculate the discounted prices. So here what we are going to do, we are going to calculate a final price. We can choose either of this, as we are not dependent on formulas. So to calculate the discount, I mean final price. So what we want the discount value also. Uh, Whatever the discount is there, so we want to calculate the discount as well. So we need to choose the line level attribute as an input. This is the discount, right? Whatever the user entered, basing on that, we need to calculate, right? So we want this value and we want extended price. So we need to apply this discount to this extended price, right? So we want these two values. So we have some logic already here. So we need to loop on the subdocument. So we need to calculate the final prices. So to store the final price, let's create one more attribute from the list of attributes. Quickly add one more attribute. Copy this value to use it in the code. Yeah, I'm done with adding the attribute. So let's add it on the layout as well. So now we can tweak this code. This is the code what we have already on the update pricing action. So the everything, the syntax is going to be similar, right? The structure. So I'm just changing the attribute name here, final price instead of extended price. And what my calculation is now is we need to use two values, extended price and its discount. So our logic is going to be subtracting the discount value from the extended price. So let's add this attribute on the layout as well. So this is not going to be editable, right? I'm simply saving it. So we are done with adding it on the layout. So we need to know the variable names, right? So we have, where is the attributes list? Sorry. So we want extended price and discount. Extended price. So as I'm done with the code, I'm simply saving it. Sorry. Each line we have everywhere. So what it is saying is, okay, so we didn't import the document number here. Let's reselect it. Document number. As we are done with the code, so go to that area of action. Apply discounts. Just update it. So we are done. So let's deploy the things. So let's refresh this page. So now we have, oh, we didn't added that action on the layout. Sorry. Let's refresh this page and add our action. So we created one more action, right? Modify type of action to apply the discounts. So let's add it on the layout as well. Yeah, this is the one. So I'm adding it on the layout, saving it, deploying once again. So now I can see my action, apply discounts. So we need to enter some values. Let's say we'll enter 75, which is more than maximum discount, and 30, which is more than maximum discount. Let's click update discount, apply discounts. So we got the final price, but here we got something which is not usual. So maximum discount, it's saying we have 50, and maximum discount here it is 25. So we won't show these values on the UI, but what we do is we will keep these values at the backend, and we will do a check every time. So whenever we are doing this action, whenever we are calculating this, so before we submit uh, submit this transaction for approval, so to cross check those values, so we need to validate this. So basing on this, we will get to know whether this is whatever the user entered discount, it's eligible or not. So basing on that error, if it's a validation error, so we need to simply change it. If it's not a validation error, so the flow is going to be that is greater than allowable discount, but we will trigger approvals. uh, those are the two like two paths we can choose now. So one is validations, one is approvals. So both are required. So validation is like hard stop. So you entered something which is more than eligible, so we are not allowing it at any cost. Even we don't have any approvals for this, so that's a hard stop. So user must change that value. If we have any approvals, so we can, for example, this is having yes, right? So this also we will maintain at the background. If this is the condition, so we won't hard stop this value, so we will proceed for submit action. So we will allow him to perform submit action. So in the approvals we will decide whether that approver, if he approves it, it will go further. If he rejects it, again user need to change that value, I mean to a lesser value. If we enter yes, this is not required for approvals, so we will simply say we will need to add a validation rule. With that, we need to say this is not a eligible discount, please enter a lesser discount and try again. So those are the two ways. So like it will take like one more session to cover those validations and approvals. So we can cover that things in the tomorrow session.